Well, hey there, friends and neighbors. Dan Cavallari, Slow Guy on the Fast Ride, and I am here at the Rafa Clubhouse here in Boulder, Colorado. And as you can see, Zwift is showing off some new goodies. And I'm going to show you today what they've got cooking for you guys coming up very soon is what they're calling Zwift Play. And it's basically allowing you to control the game right from your handlebars. It's very cool. As you can see, I'm sweaty because I've been on the trainer trying it out today, right here, as you can see. So let's take a quick close look at Zwift Play, the hardware, so you know what you're actually getting when you order it and what it does in the game. So as you can see, Zwift Play mounts to your handlebars and gives you button control at the top, and you can see there's a little orange paddle in here as well. That controls braking and steering. More on that in just a second. You can also see there's a little bit of a raised ridge here. That also allows you some in-game functionality, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But let's see the hardware first. You can see it mounts to your handlebars, and there's just a little silicone band, kind of like you've seen on lights that you use around your seat post. Very similar to that. You can see 4 buttons at the top. And out back here, you can see there's a glowing Z for Zwift. That's your power button, and it also indicates that everything is paired. Now there's a controller on each side, and so you have to pair each one individually, which is easy to do in game. There's a tutorial to walk you through it right at the beginning when you pair these for the first time. As you can see, this mounts exactly the same way. And over here, another paddle for braking and for steering, and a ridge over here for in-game functionality, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Arrow keys to help you move through the game, and selection keys for all the various features. So if you're like most Zwift users, you know that there's a lot of menus in the game, but you probably don't use them because you have to reach out to your keyboard or use your phone to access a lot of those features. One of the big benefits of Zwift Play is that now you can access those menus easily from your handlebars. No futzing around with your computer, no futzing around with a keyboard, no sweating on your computer anymore, which I'm real good at. And so this actually brings the game a little bit closer to you. And one of the great things about this is all those features that were in the game that you probably weren't using before now become very fun and engaging inside the game. So let's talk about a few of those features. So the big in-game fun is obviously the steering and the braking. Now that's mostly useful for things like in Repack Ridge where you're doing a time trial. So you can actually steer your bike, and Zwift has added some features in Repack Ridge where you can actually go and get things like time bonuses, and you can avoid obstacles that'll slow you down. Really neat. So you can actually engage with the game on a different level. That's the basic cool. But other things you can do is you can give thumbs ups very easily with a touch of a button. You can give thumbs up to the whole group when you're on a group ride. You can transport easily to a pacer or anything like that. It brings all of those features that you used to have to use a keyboard for right at your fingertips.
I'm Andrew Bernstein, PR manager with Zwift, and when you open up your new Zwift Plays, you'll see these. There's a number of buttons. The Z turns them on. When you turn them on the first time, they will flash different colors, and that's them pairing to your device, your whatever device you're running Zwift on. When you get into the game, you'll then see a tutorial that shows you what all the buttons do and how to use them, and different experiences that are available to you in Zwift. So once you're in Zwift, the most useful buttons are, well, actually all of the buttons are very useful. The arrow buttons move your cursor around the screen so you can select different pieces of content in the game experience. A selects, B goes back. When you're riding, you can use Y to trigger a power-up, and Z gives ride-ons. If you hold Z, you'll give a ride-on bomb to everyone around you. On the front of the play controllers are these orange paddles. On the right controller, if you push to the right, you'll steer to the right. And on the left, if you push to the left, you'll steer to the left. And if you go towards the center on either side, you'll brake, rear brake and front brake. And then there's also this thin button on the front of the controller that controls the trainer difficulty. So in the right trainer, pressing the button goes up, and on the left, you go make your trainer less hard.
So why is Zwift Play actually cool? Well, if you know anything about hardware in the last few years, we know we've had a lot of pieces of hardware that accentuate the game and make it more interesting. But this is the first real upgrade that actually lets you take control of the game in a different way. So to me, this is probably one of the coolest upgrades you can make to your Zwift setup in the coming year, because it gives you so much new control over the game itself. Now, when can you get it? Pretty soon. It's coming out soon. Check the liner notes down below for the official launch date. And at launch, these are going to cost you $100. It is still in beta, so you're going to deal with some quirks maybe and some upgrades as Zwift adds features to the system. And then sometime probably in the fall of 2023, the price is going to go up to $150. So if you want to get that sweet discount deal, now's the time to grab them. There's lots of in-game functionality already. It will be well worth the price. So give it a go. I am excited to try these on my setup at home, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and do a little spinning right now and see how it goes. Trainer here, it's set up on Repack Ridge here, so you have all these time bonuses that you can kind of steer into. You can kind of see that I'm steering and braking. Those will slow you down, the big red ones. These blue guys will give you a little boost, which I missed. It takes some getting used to, for sure. The steering is actually a very light touch, and I am a very heavy-handed rider, apparently. So you want to give it a light touch, and you can see the brake activation. You can see the red light come on, so you know you're braking. Whoa, there we go. So you can brake into corners, have a little bit more control as you're riding in Zwift. Now, the buttons on top, if you're in the drops, you can reach those paddles easily for braking and for all those options down here. Up top, you can do the selection. So B is back, A is select. I forget what Z is. Y is you can do the thumbs up bombs, and then you have over here just selection controls to navigate menus. Super easy, super intuitive, and while it's definitely something strapped to your bar, but it's all pretty intuitive and unobtrusive for the most part. So I really like this upgrade, and to be able to get more control in game, not have to futz around with other computers, phones, all that stuff. This is a huge upgrade. I'm excited for this.